What's up, peeps? This is Todd and welcome back to my show. I wanted to make sort of a different video today, and there'll be some educational content in there too, and a little bit of it, I have to admit right now, it will get slightly political, but if you stay to the end of the video, it all wraps in together and it all makes sense. So I first want to talk about the three different types of income. You have earned income, such as wages, you have portfolio income like capital gains, and then you have passive income like rental income from real estate. It's going to be important to remember those three different types of incomes for later on in the video. Recently, a post on Facebook went a little bit viral. I think it was in a news article as well. And the post was about privilege. And I will flash the post up on the screen, but I'll read it to you as well. It says, "Privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you've never had a job. Privilege is wearing $300 Beats while living on public assistance. Privilege is having a smartphone and a data plan in which you have no bill for. Privilege is living in public subsidized housing where you don't have a water bill, where rising property taxes and rents absolutely no effect on the food you can put on your table. Privilege is the ability to march against and protest against anything that triggers you without worrying about calling in for work. Privilege is having as many children as you want regardless of your employment status and being able to send them off to daycare which you don't pay for. Privilege is sending your kids to school early for the before school breakfast program and breakfast, and then keeping them there for the after school program, all at no cost to you, paid for by the people who do have to deal with rising taxes and costs. You know, us so-called privileged, the ones who pay while you take. So this post made a lot of people angry, and it made a lot of people kind of rally behind it and say, yeah, these are good points. I'm working my job and I see people on welfare that are just taking from the system. And I wanted to put this video out there to really talk about what privilege is, and it goes back to the three types of income. So as I said before, there's earned income like wages, there's portfolio income, aka capital gains, and then there's passive income. Wages are what most people have, and that's when you have a job and you trade your time for work. And wages are taxed the highest at up to 37%. Capital gains are taxed lower than that. Capital gains, the tax from selling stock or selling a business, the profit on selling a piece of real estate, that is only taxed at 15% up to a maximum of 20%. And then there is passive income, the third type of income, which is of course my personal favorite. And passive income allows you to pay 0% in taxes legally, depending on how your business is set up and your depreciation schedule. So, as most of you guys watching know, I have been rich and I have been poor. And let me tell you right now, the privileges I get or benefit I get from being a rich person is far, far greater than any sort of privilege anyone would get from needing food stamps or government help. I'm not going to articulate my opinion on whether this fact is good or bad, but I will say this. The tax code and American business law is written for and by rich people, and rich people largely benefit from it. And before anyone freaks out and calls me a socialist, let me remind you, I am a rich person with passive income who's greatly benefiting from this system. This year alone, just in one facet of my business, I will have over $250,000 in tax write-offs, meaning the first $250,000 that I make, I will legally pay zero taxes on. This system is put in place so that men like me can make millions of dollars and legally pay no tax. So those three types of income, earned income, portfolio, and passive income, remember, poor people and middle-class people really only have the first type. They only have earned income, which is wages, and that's taxed the heaviest. Professional investors, wealthy individuals, we have the second two types of income, which is passive income and portfolio income, and we pay less of a marginal tax rate than the working class and the poor do. So I see this post, and I see people who are working their asses off trying to feed their family and put food on the table, and they see struggling families that are getting government help or assistance, and they're really mad at those families. But let me just tell you, struggling people on welfare are not your enemy. And this is not my attempt to shift the target from them onto me. I don't want to be your enemy either. But what I'm saying, and why a lot of people will not like this content, is I'm just speaking the truth about how our monetary system works. And frankly, you guys, the benefits that I make as a wealthy person are far greater than any benefit that any sort of family who needs food stamps will get. I mentioned earlier in this video that the first $250,000 that I make will be completely tax-free. That means that the benefit that I'm getting from being a professional investor is greater than any one family who's on food stamps It's a bigger benefit to me than it is to any family who's getting an after-school program for free. The benefit that I get as a rich person is much larger than anyone who's on welfare. I think that the rich have done a really, really phenomenal job of convincing people in the middle class that the reason why their life sucks is because of poor people. Most of you out there have seen the movie The Wizard of Oz. And my favorite line from that movie, my all-time favorite line from that movie, is when the wizard, Oz himself, says, "Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain." Because that's what happens, you guys. I mean, the rich and the powerful control everything. And they leave the poor and the middle class to fight amongst themselves about race, religion, and politics. My motivation for starting this YouTube channel was to teach financial literacy because I think that is the best way to help people pull themselves out of poverty and get a better life. But in financial literacy, you also learn a lot of education, and you learn that the system is set up in place by and large to benefit wealthy people. And again, I'm not even saying it's right or wrong or good or bad. I'm a rich person, I'm benefiting. What I wanted to get at is the people who agree with this post, the people who are mad at folks that are on welfare, the people that are upset of people, having kids and not having to pay for their school program. If you're angry at someone who's on food stamps, if you're going to be angry at someone, be angry at the guys who can make unlimited amounts of money and pay no tax. And I'm not even saying that getting mad is the right thing. I'm just saying your anger is at the wrong people because it's folks like me who are getting the benefit. It's not these poor people that are on welfare. And I mean, I don't know what else to say. But anyway, I hope this video was at least informative. And my next one will be back to my normal content, basically just talking about actual how to build wealth. But I thought this was important to speak about. So there you have it. All right, I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.